We welcome you to our Lughnasadh Ritual. It is presented today by the Texas Local Council, the Covenant of the Goddess, and is being presented by Circle of the Moon and Sun. We invite you to join us in the ritual, lighting candles for each element and joining in the feast with crackers, juice, or water. We will allow extra time at each call for your participation. Please face the east.
To the east, element of air, our life force, the oxygen we need, the winds that blow the seeds to their final destination. Please join us today with your breezes that blow away negativity and gives us mental clarity and inspiration. Blessed be.
South, element of fire, the sun above us, the flame within us. We ask you to join us in this ritual today. Lend us your comforting warmth, nourishing rays, and fierce protection. Blessed be.
Call to the west in the element of water. We cannot live without you. Crops would not grow. We would not survive. You wash away our sorrows and drown out negativity. We ask you to join us today and help us cleanse our emotions and heal our spirit. Blessed be.
North, element earth, our home, provider of sustenance, sustainer of life. We ask you to join us today and provide us with the grounding and calming that so many of us need right now. Blessed be. Lugh, God of the harvest, our protector, our warrior. Please join us today and share your strength and courage that you use in battle, because we are all fighting our own battles right now and need as much help as we can get. Blessed be. Lughnasadh is the first harvest festival in the Wheel of the Year. This is when we honor the Celtic god Lugh. He is a multi-talented and versatile god. He is the god of the sun, light, and fire, and the harvest, among many other things. He is a skilled craftsman, musician, magician, and healer. He is also a great warrior. There are many stories with many different versions about Lugh, but the most important one that has meaning for this time of the year is the story of how he defeated his grandfather, the tyrant Balor, and how he took back the harvest for the people of Ireland. For Balor, his hate for Lugh started before he was born. It was prophesied to Balor by a druid that he would be killed by his grandson. When Balor's daughter, Ethnu, and her husband, Cian, had their son Lugh, they made arrangements to have someone else raise and care for him before Balor could kill him. His foster mother, Tautu, and foster father, Echad, raised him well. He was taught and excelled in many skills and arts. He was also taught to be a great warrior so that one day he would grow up to defeat the evil Balor. And he did just that. Balor of the Evil Eye, that was what he was known by then, was causing destruction and ruining the crops in Ireland. He had been cursed, and his one eye was poisonous to everything he looked at. Lugh had had enough and decided it was time to rid the people of the evil Balor. Lugh took his magical sling and hit him in the poisonous eye and killed his grandfather, just like the prophecy had said. Lugh did spare Bray, a member of Balor's own army. He made a deal with him. Lugh would spare him if he would teach him how to raise and harvest grain, plow, sow, and reap the fields. Like everything else Lugh learns, he excelled in that and became the god of the harvest. He saved the people by saving the crops and getting rid of their famine, blight, and hardships. Lugh is a multi-talented god. He helps with many aspects of your life that you may be going through. He will help you fight your battles. He can help you heal your psyche. He can also give you creative inspiration and assist you if you're crafting, building, or working in music or writing poetry. He will also help you in your magical endeavors.
During Lughnasadh, grain was the primary harvest, as well as late summer fruits like apples and peaches. Grand feasts to celebrate were held to share the harvest in a sign of peace and hospitality. Festivals were also held for artisans to display and sell their crafts in honor of the god Lugh. Baking bread, bonfires, and sporting games were also ways to celebrate Lughnasadh. In our world today, celebrating looks a bit different. Most of us just go to the store for our food, few relying on their own harvest. However, we can still celebrate the work of these farmers by baking bread and sharing in good faith. Donating food to shelters and food banks is another way to honor this Sabbath. With the quarantine we have been experiencing, many have taken to crafts for mental stimulation and added income. Showcase your wares during this time and buy from fellow crafters. Be proud of your harvest, whether it is a physical gain or immaterial. Acknowledge your courage, perseverance, and the light you have grown within. We are surrounded by darkness, but give yourself a moment to give thanks.
Today we're going to talk about the sunflower and how the elements are so important to the sunflower for its growth, but also to the rest of our harvest so that we can have a bountiful harvest. For the air, we like to see the sunflowers dancing in the air and the breeze as it blows. As it's cooling us, it's also cooling the sunflower. It's helping it be vibrant and joyful, but it's also, the air is important to its roots. A lot of your farmers are going to aerate their ground and their soil so the air can get down into the roots. If they don't do that, the roots are not able to get the nourishment from the rain and the other things that it needs to be able to grow strong.
The sunflower's name comes from its tendency to turn toward the sun, tracking its movements throughout the day. To grow, sunflowers require strong, full sunlight. The rays provide energy for the flower, preventing it from starving. Similarly, fire provides life and passion in our own lives. It stimulates our spirit, charging our magic, and cleanses us of negativity. Balance between light and dark is necessary. We must reach tall toward the sun, following the light so we don't succumb to overwhelming darkness.
Water plays an important part in the growth of the sunflower. It cleanses the area around the sunflower and allows the nutrients to reach the roots and feed the flower.
Sunflowers won't grow and can't live without earth. The earth is their stability, their foundation. Once the seed is in the dirt, it will start sprouting roots that will anchor it into the earth. The earth provides the flower with nutrients, oxygen, and water through those roots.
Indeed, it takes all the elements to help in the growth of the sunflower. The cooling breezes of the air, the aeration of the roots to help it grow strong, the rays of energy from the sun, and it brings life and passion to our own lives. Water brings nutrients, loosens the soil, and allows for growth. In earth, the stability and foundation and nutrients. As you see the sunflower, think how these elements and these attributes affect each one of us in our own lives.
Join with us today to feast. I am using bread and juice, but some suggestions are bread, crackers, anything that has to do with grains. We are celebrating the first harvest of grains. And for my juice, some suggestions, or grape juice, or wine, or even water. As you're going to take your bite of your bread or whatever you're using, think about this time of the year and the first grains that are harvested to make this bread. Celebrate, be thankful, and have the gratitude of what this bread, this grains mean, that it comes from our earth, that it's for our substance. It nourishes our body. You may eat. For our juice, as you're going to take a drink, think about the fruits that are harvested, the apples, the grapes, or any of the other fruits that are harvested to make these juices or wines. For the water, think of the water and all these things that have to do with the resemblance of the blood that flows through our veins. But it's also the substance that we have, that it nurtures our body, gives us the coolness and the wetness that we enjoy to cool our minds and our hearts. It washes through us and cleanses us. Enjoy that and be appreciative and know that this is for the good. You may drink. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really enjoyed you being with us. I want to remind you that you can go to our website, txcog.org, and there you can find the history about us as well as our classes and our rituals. You can also join us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. On Facebook, you can find our classes that are going on now virtually. It will give you the times and dates, as well as the links to be able to join us at these classes. The classes are one-on-one classes, but we also are started having discussions. All these are done on Wednesdays. Please check us out on Facebook and find these times and the subjects and the dates. Again, this was all put on by the Texas Local Council of the Covenant of the Goddess and was performed by Circle of the Moon and Sun. Have a wonderful Lammas, or have a wonderful Lughnasadh, and be grateful and celebrate the first harvest. To the east, the element of air, we thank you for joining us today. We thank you for your cool breezes that blow away the negativity. We thank you for giving us the mental clarity and the inspiration. We ask now that you go back from whence you came, harming none along the way. Blessed be.
South, element of fire, thank you for joining us today and sharing your gifts of passion, strength, and protection. We ask you now to go back to your own fair realm, harming none along the way. Blessed be.
Water, we thank you for being with us in the ritual today, cleansing our emotions and drowning out the negativity from our lives. Blessed be.
North, element earth. Thank you for joining us today and sharing your gifts of grounding and calming. We now ask you to go back to your own fair realm, harming none along the way. Blessed be. Lugh. Thank you for joining us today. Please stay in our hearts and our minds and give us the warrior strength that we need to get through these trying times. Blessed be.
Circle sinks. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again.